Hey, so before I get this video started, I have a few announcements to make. So starting May 20th, I'll be starting to take summer courses through my college. So I won't be posting a lot of videos until then, until like after July, when my classes are done. Also, I have a DTYS challenge going on. It is on my Instagram, foxhunting.beyblader, and on my Twitter, A1098, which you can find in the description down below. Anyways, just wanted to point that out there. And the challenge ends on May 31st. And there are no winners, and there are no prizes, and I'll be featuring every participant's entry on my stories and tweets. Anyways, enjoy the video. Disclaimer: I will be talking about a situation that has happened recently regarding this topic, and I'll be censoring their name. Please do not send this person any hate, harassment by any means. This is not what my channel is about. I don't endorse or condone that kind of behavior. Let's be respectful of each other's opinions and differences. With that out of the way, let's get right into the video. Hey everyone, it's Alyssa, and I'm back with another video. Today, we'll be talking about the latest premiere of the latest Beyblade series, Beyblade Burst Superking. Now, I didn't know how I wanted to go with this video since I mentioned a few videos ago that I had a lot to say about this anime in particular, and we will be talking about that. So, Beyblade Burst is the latest version of the series and has received backlash from their longtime supporters for being targeted towards a younger audience, and I don't blame them. I at first didn't want to watch Burst, but after some time I said, you know what, let me give it a chance. It has some good aspects about it. It has some talented characters, awesome designs, nice dynamics. I just wish that some of the stages can switch it up a little, you know, like add different feels that the original series and Metal Fight had for their battles. Like, be diverse. Let's have heart-stopping battles like the one where Tyson saves the world from being destroyed by a Ginger, or Ginger saves the world from a malevolent spirit, twice in one scene. Also, and here's where the real conversation starts, actually promote some female Beybladers. Oh my god, did I say that? A girl playing Beyblade? Shocker! And this is something I've noticed as I was watching Metal Saga, Shogun Steel, and Burst. There's mostly male Beybladers who are playing. We rarely ever get to see female Beybladers getting the upper hand. The last time we ever saw a girl dominating her match in the finals was in the Justice 5 of G-Revolution. And she was on the bad side. So think about that. So, when they announced Beyblade Superking, I was annoyed. I was really hoping they would introduce a female protagonist for once, instead of it just being boys. I still watch it, just to keep up with the times and all. And that's where these screenshots come in. I ranted about this on Instagram, and I posted it on 2 Facebook Beyblade groups, and on the Beyblade Amino, which I have since left due to the controversy I've created there, and along with other issues, but that's besides the point. So, I'll read what I wrote on a screenshot. There's too many boys in this series. Try using a female protagonist for once. And on my Instagram story, I ranted. Just a little rant. Beyblade Burst is legit the longest series out of the Beyblade franchise. Metal Saga was continued by Shogun Steel, and that was it. The original Beyblade series never got this treatment. Like, at this point, it's just annoying to keep continuing with the same old shonen pattern. Like, switch it up a little bit. Add another series that isn't Burst. I have no hate against Burst, but this is getting a bit ridiculous. How many series of Burst are we gonna get? And I'm gonna state again, I have no hate against Burst. None whatsoever. I do have criticism, but I don't have hate. And I've gotten some mixed reviews. Some people thought I was hating on the series, which of course I stated many times I wasn't. I have no hate or any ill intent towards the Burst series, and I'm allowed to express my opinion and criticism on something I have knowledge on and am currently watching. I have a lot of criticism on the series, and I'll be explaining that after I get into the responses. Anyways, so to the responses I received on that Amino post, there were some who agreed, and there were others who were pointing out certain things in my rant. One of them said that Chasa Guten, who appears in Evolution, was a protagonist. First of all, she was a minor character. She wasn't the main focus of the series. She was on every Happy Meal or poster that was promoting the show. You know who was the main hero of Burst? Volt Aoi. You know who was on every poster and every Happy Meal in the entire country? Volt Aoi. That's what I meant by the protagonist or main character. To have a girl be the main hero for once in a series that is mostly dominated by boys, like that would be a huge turning point. That's what inspired me to write my fanfic, Beyblade New Era, which you can find on my Wattpad. It'll be in the link below, in the description or pinned comments. Check it out. Okay. Now there's another response I got, and this was the one that made my day, because this isn't the first time I dealt with a comment like this. Now you may hear me laugh to this, and that's not because I think this person is funny or making a joke, or that I'm not taking them seriously. Why would I? But that's besides the point. But I'm laughing at how ridiculous this whole situation and conversation has gotten, and how like derailed the entire conversation went. And like, just prepare yourself and let me know what you think. Haha, ruining Beyblade feminism, are we? Why not give Sailor Moon, Blackrock Shooter, and Card Captors male protagonists? I responded with, this has nothing to do with feminism, so calm down. It would just be nice to be represented for once in an anime that you love. I mean, is that asking too much? Now, I want to comment on what this person said about Sailor Moon, Blackrock Shooter, and Card Captors. Blackrock Shooter is my favorite anime. But when you say something like that, you're taking away, you're not like seeing the actual history or like the actual impact you're doing. You're not seeing that. It wouldn't have the same effect because it's not represented that way. It's not represented in a sense that would be. Let's just continue. So this person responds back, of course it is. Some things are better off in their own place. I mean, wasn't it enough that Beyblade got replaced with more and more new characters and protagonists, rendering the original Blade Breakers completely obscure? I haven't seen a Pokemon show without Ash or Red. I haven't seen a Bakugan show without Dan, Shun, and Drago, even Battle Planet. So why does Beyblade get this special treatment where everyone is replacing Scarlet like trash? As for keeping a female character, the show would 100% flop and be history. We have seen this happen with Star Wars and Ghostbusters. So to keep those goddamn girls out of our badass shows. This. Okay, you really want to get in there, huh? Where do we start with this? The second comment on the screenshot, I have something to say about that. It depends on how the character is written. If they are written well into the series, as much and hold them up to the high standard that Volt, Tyson, Jenga, Iger, and all those Burst protagonists were represented in the series, then there would be some progress. There would be like something to be made out of it. But to compare this with Star Wars and Ghostbusters, like, I haven't seen those movies. However, I did see how the characters were like written and portrayed, and I just feel like I feel like they weren't written in their best sense, and this is why people get this like impression that having a female lead would never go well, especially in a franchise that started off with like a powerful male lead. And I have nothing against male leads. I have nothing against them. It just depends on the writing and how they are portrayed. And I'm going to be referencing back to Yu-Gi-Oh! Because they do a good job of like showing female characters having a bigger lead. Like, I'm watching Yu-Gi-Oh! Reigns right now because I cannot handle the ending of Zexal. I can't handle it yet. No, I can't. Nope, I'm not handling it. But I'm watching Yu-Gi-Oh! Reigns, and I see how Ghost Gal was represented, and it's like written. And she's like one of my favorites so far because she's very like mysterious, but she's also like she's also like working with the big dogs and everything. And she's like someone I admire. Also, Yu-Gi-Oh! Sevens, which I also started watching that too. Roman Kiyoshima, even though she's like 11 years old, like she shows off, like she has a good like battling strategy. She's very like powerful, and that's why I bring up Yu-Gi-Oh! Because I feel like they do a good representation of female characters within like the main cast and everything. So of course I got myself into I started getting a little sassy with it. I was like, oh, the sexism does not look cute on you, man. And on the topic of shonen animes, Yu-Gi-Oh! Has made some progression in bringing badass female characters. I'm surprised you haven't touched on that. And even in the old Beyblade series, we have awesome female characters like Julia, Miriam, Mariah, etc. It's representation that matters. I mean, imagine being a 10-year-old girl watching Beyblade and suddenly you see a female Beyblader taking the sport by storm. Wouldn't that be inspiring, supportive? Try being open-minded for once. And as I was writing this comment, I was mostly thinking about Cars 3. Because that was almost like kind of shocked me because I was not expecting that ending to be the way it was. And to bring up Cruz as the racer who gets first place and everything, it's just like that's inspiring, dude. Like, we have like badass women in our society, in our world, like Lady Gaga, Marsha Johnson, Laverne Cox. Yeah, I mean, like, that's all I can think of at the top of my head. Just to think about that perspective and just like seeing how this will all come to be, like I don't understand why you'd be so ignorant about it. Like, you're acting like we're gonna like take over the entire world, and you won't, like, just because a woman is getting more representation than she usually does not mean men are getting less representation. It does not mean like we're putting you guys down. It's keeping everyone like on level. But of course it's very hard to do that in our society because it's mostly patriarchal. And he responds with, I used to watch Yu-Gi-Oh! As a child but got bored afterwards. I said that as great side characters, girls are great in Beyblade as long as their battle outcomes are not too one-sided like Ming Ming. But provided their characters actually kind and humble rather than being bubbly show-offs. I said, yeah, I kind of went downhill during 5Ds, but no one is trying to ruin your badass shows by adding prominent female characters into the mix. Like, it wouldn't hurt anyone. Then giving, of course, blah blah blah. Same thing as he said before. The bottom part, he says, I'm already telling you that particular show once again flopped because they added stuff for the representation's sake. Why not have a transgender protagonist then? I mean, he's trying to like derail the conversation, and it's just like this is why like the derailment's starting to get to it, and I was trying to bring it back on topic and being as respectful as I could be. So I responded saying, I mean, it wouldn't hurt, but it wouldn't have the same effect. Ever heard of the glass ceiling or double standards? That's where it comes in. Of course, people oppose the idea, and that's okay, but gradually they'll get used to the concept and warm up to it and try to see what the anime was just showcasing. And then I was responding to his transgender comment. Like, that wouldn't hurt, as long as they're adding substance and actually making the character likable. That's all that matters. Now, this is where the derailment gets into play. It's not okay to be this open-minded. I mean, people like you are the kind of people who listen to a looped fart and call it abstract art music. I bet you even consider Boku no Pico an art form. going by how open-minded you are. Yet you're not open-minded to my idea of not keeping female protagonists, letting trans continue. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. That comment was like so funny. Like it just made me laugh. Like, dude, oh my gosh. And so I said, dude, what are you on? We're having a nice conversation and you're going off on me how open-minded I am. Bro, I think I'm about done with this. It was nice chatting with you. Have a nice day / night. And don't forget to let it rip. Oh, by the way, I don't watch porn or hentai. And I listen to death metal and about 7 subgenres of electro music. I was just kind of like exaggerating about the electro music. Plus, I grew up with Trailblazers. Trailblazers part, I should have just left out because that was just like me trying to one up myself just to like combat what it is trying to say. I'm exaggerating. Y'all know who I love. Stream my sample scene. It's just at this point, I'm just like what does this just turn into? And to be honest, like, I don't even know what to say at this point. I don't even know. I can't even fathom up the words to describe what I just encountered or dealt with. Yeah, whatever. I will keep ripping with the Blade Breakers. Do whatever you want about it. Yeah, and so what if you listen to death metal? I listen to various genres of rock, metal, core, but is that relevant to the code? No. Go listen to oh, for fuck's sake. By the way, I saw your white teach description and you haven't mentioned a single death metal band. Are you sure you listen to death metal? In that case, there's 10 bands other than, oh, fuck. Like, oh, I have one finger for you. So much. One finger for you because you're the one who came into this and responded to me. So I responded to you back. We're having a back and forth about conversation, and you derailed it. Hold on. Where did you derail it? Where did you derail it? Oh my gosh. You derailed it right around, without the transgender part, but like right around here, it says it's not okay to be this open-minded. Like, you just like, I don't understand what your mindset is. Like, the amount of, like, energy you have, like, can I get some of that, please? Because I've been trying to, like, motivate myself lately. But, like I said, we don't listen to sexual predators, and I mentioned In Flames, all the material, and Legion. But you're the ones making assumptions here, darling, so don't come at me with irrelevance. You're the one who started the conversation, I'll answer it for you. Judging by this, you have a lot to learn about this town, sweetie. That was an office reference. I'm just gonna skip the death metal part. And secondly, which town are you talking about? This probably is like one of the funniest ones on here. Is it the one they call Feminazi Island, which seems to be where you live? In that case, I don't want to know anything about your stupid ideals. Beyblade cannot work with a female protagonist and its intended audience. Good luck with making a Beyblade series having a female lead better than the originals, because you're gonna fail. That you threaten to vandalize other peaceful people to watch your series, and out of jealousy call other good series as homophobic or racist because they did better than yours. Talking about the Birds of Prey fans lost it. Okay, first of all, about that, I don't understand why the Birds of Prey fans lost it over the Sonic movie, because they had nothing to do with each other. So don't be mad that your movie failed, but another movie did, because that's not anybody's fault. It's just that's how the writing was. It depends on who was making the movie, and because like you can't compare apples to oranges, you just can't. And coincidentally, not having a social justice warrior agenda to it, I mean, people will not learn to accept your BS and will instead retaliate. I just ended the conversation right there because I could not handle this guy. Oh my god, he was the best person on that day. It was like, hey, this person made my day. He was ignorant, but he made my day. That's cool. And like, Like, I just want to know, like, what was, like, that energy, dude? Like, oh my god. Alright. Now, someone was reading this exchange, and I don't have the screenshot for it, so I'm just gonna go off on what I remember. She commented on how I was reacting to someone who had a different opinion than me, and I wasn't handling it properly, and have a problem comes to that. I'm like, and I just want to ask that person, do you know how a debate works? Do you know what an argument is? And you're gonna come at me and say that I don't know how to handle this? I'm doing the best I can. Like, I'm just having fun with this person. Like they're entertaining me for this day. But guess what? I'm not your teacher. I don't get paid to teach you something. But back to my conversation with this person who obviously had a lot to say with every point or concept he brought up in the argument. I was being respectful of that. All I said was like he was being sexist and being a misogynist. But yet, I'm the one who can't handle that. I didn't want to come off as an ignorant person. I didn't want to give a violent or fiery reaction because I'm way past that part of my life. I reserve my passion and rage for something or someone that deserves it. And back to that conversation, he tries to insult my open-mindedness by making these weird claims and shit. I'm like, are you okay? Like, my response about my death metal bands and what I listen to and stuff. Like, dude, those things do not define me as a person. Like, don't wear the stereotypes. Don't try to expose me as a poser. This is the exact reason why people don't like to share their opinions on the internet, because of assholes like this. And I apologize for calling him that, but the screenshots speak for themselves. Did I do something wrong? Was there anything wrong that I said? And not only my post, but that conversation as well? I'm not asking for sympathy. And I'm certainly not asking anyone to go harass this person or send him any hate. That's not what I'm about. At this point, I stopped responding to him because it was just eating away at my brain. I didn't want to give him any more attention than he needed. But of course, he wouldn't stop, and this is when I got mad. I don't have the screenshots for this, so I'm going off based on what I remember. I didn't show too much of my anger, but I was pissed. I ignored this guy for a few hours, and he wants to continue this shit? Let's continue. I don't remember what he said, but I do remember me responding something along the lines of, you have my attention now, what you want? I already said goodbye to you. I didn't respond to you because it was pointless or something like that. And he comes back with, oh, I thought you would stop responding because you were so astounded by my words and that you got schooled by me. So I called him out once more on his misogyny, his sexism and such. It called me a feminazi and how I'm going to report him for false harassment because that's what third wave feminism, or how I like to call them, the radical, is about. So let me make something clear. I'm not a feminist. I used to be. I still support some of the beliefs and from the original movement, you know, the original purpose, but I don't identify myself anymore as a feminist. No, I'm more on the lines of a womanist. Let me give you the definitions of the term before I make any judgments about me. I hate how third wave feminists are always the loudest, and that's what people use to define feminism nowadays, but that's not what it's about. That's partially the reason why I started supporting womanism. We are not man-haters. We do not put men down in the name of this ideology. That's not what we do. Rather, we point out certain things that seem discriminatory or heavily biased, like double standards, equal pay, harassment. And womanism is more about like a community. Like we are women of color. We support each other. We are here to like bring each other up. We're not here to bring anyone down. And these ideologies are not hateful, nor are they discriminatory. It's sad that a lot of people, especially men, are misinformed about these terms and don't put into perspective how odd things are and can be if certain situations were different. But that's all I have to say about that. You know, I still try to give things a chance to see what it's like before making any judgments like that. So, now for the review. I mean, that's what you came here for, right? Anyways, so I watched the first 2 episodes of Beyblade, which I thought was weird because why 11-minute episodes? Like, why not have the usual 20-something minute episode like the old days, you know? You know, Shogun Steel was saying something, but we never listened. Aside from that, I really didn't garner up any interest for the series, to be honest. We have twin protagonists for this season, which is rare because usually a series focuses on a singular character, and our story revolves around them, and the protagonist, antagonist, etc. What I found interesting about this was that I was watching another channel a while back, and they were theorizing about a new series of another anime. And one of those series involved the concept of twin protagonists. Now, I thought this was coincidental, but I wanted to put that out there. Anywho, so we have twins Hikaru and Hyuga. Hikaru seems like the responsible type, while Hyuga is more like lazy and relaxed. And please forgive me if I mispronounce any of these names. So Hyuga reminds me of Vault in the earlier seasons. Now we find ourselves in the stadium, and we see when characters come back like Rantaro, Silas, and Vault. They've definitely grown during the redesigns for Superking. And we learn about these new Beyblades, which are cool because they send sparks from the launchers. Like, are they made of titanium? Like, to me that felt like something that could have been easily implemented in the previous seasons. Like, yeah, sparks fly off the handle. It wasn't anything special in my opinion, but it's cool to see some characters returning to the scene. It was nice seeing generations coming together. Overall, it was a good episode. It didn't really hype me up or keep me excited, since, you know, this is the longest running series of Beyblade and usually starts off like this, so I started to lose interest easily. Kind of wish they came back to a 20-something minute episode because that's what I'm used to. So now that you have my thoughts on the episode and the whole controversy I had about the entire thing, may I say it again? I don't speak for everyone in the Beyblade community, and your opinions are valid. I respect them, but don't go bashing or harassing someone just because they have different opinions than you. Unless, of course, there are all of these things listed on the screen. Those are there for obvious reasons. And what I mean by that, if their beliefs support that. If their beliefs are supporting what's on the screen. But I don't need to explain that. Anyways, thank you for watching. Stay home, stay clean, and I'll catch you in my next video, which I'll be reviewing Shadowverse. I also wanted to say that there was one thing I agreed with in his response. Although he didn't particularly say it, I could kind of see the message he was trying to convey. And, well, not the message, but like the theme he was going with. Well, not theme, but just something he was having on his mind when he says he'll keep ripping with the Blade Breakers. I will say this. There will never be another series of Beyblade that will top what the original had, but it may carry out the legacy it held, and the legacy that the original Blade Breakers paved the way for other series of Beyblade to go through. It's just something that can't be like replaced or erased with. And nobody's trying to take that away from us. Nobody is trying to do that. I mean, so what if you go through a few changes along the way? It will never change the past. We cannot change the past. But we can alter the future as we're going along with the present. Because the future is our present as we're speaking.